Hello, and welcome to me talking about whatever I want to talk about because this is my channel.
너 그래 너 요새 너 조금 이상해졌어 자꾸만 시도 때도 없이 시무룩하고
Today's video is going to be about me ranking my top 5 BTS music videos, and as cancel culture is on rise, let me put a disclaimer that you don't have to think like me. These are all just my opinions. I'm not saying that these have to be their best music videos. This is what just I think, and you are allowed to have a different opinion than mine. Before we start with the video, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and like this video. Also comment below what your favorite BTS music videos are, because I'm telling you mine, you have to tell me yours as well. Number 5 on this list is BTS's Dynamite. And if you're telling me that you don't know BTS's Dynamite, you are lying to me. The music video for Dynamite gained over 101 million views on YouTube in just its first 24 hours of its release. And then it went on to top the Billboard Hot 100 chart for 3 weeks straight, which made BTS the only group in the 21st century to do so. The music video gives us a very refreshing retro 90s pop vibe. Yes, it is filled with aesthetics. When we look closely to the members and their clothing, their outfits, there is a very hidden Michael Jackson tribute. All the members are seen wearing famous outfits of Michael Jackson. And another thing that I really like about the music video is that there are some parts of very smooth transitions. Like in the very first scene, we see that Jungkook is dancing, and then the scene moves boom to RM, from Jungkook to RM. So that smooth transition is very beautiful. And then a similar transition takes place from V to RM. Like V twirls around and then that's boom, that's RM. And the only reason why Dynamite is ranking number 5 on this list, because it is one of their most generic pop songs. I like when BTS are being more artistic and more creative to it. Number 4 on my list is Spring Day. Spring Day is basically the queen of all BTS songs. Let me give you a bit of background to the music video of Spring Day. Basically, there was a Seoul ferry disaster in Korea 4 years back. The ferry sunk and there were a lot of people there, including students. So when no artist or entertainer was practically allowed to speak about it, BTS made a whole music video talking about it. In the music video, we can see that there's a scene where Jimin is holding shoes on his hand, standing near a sea or an ocean. So basically, and Jimin holding the shoes, it kind of represents the people who lost their lives in the ferry accident. And then there's another scene where we see Suga rapping by sitting on top of a heap of clothes. Like it's literally a mountain of clothes, which signifies the lives that were lost, that they are no more there, the people are not there anymore, but the clothes are. There are a lot of use of artistic literature. There is a book called The People Who Went Away from Omelas, and we can see RM moving into the Omela house or whatever it is. Then there is Jungkook moving in as well in another scene. And this scene basically signifies that people who were lost, the people who went and then they never came back, because the book itself is based on something like that, where the people move out of Omelas and then they never come back. Third on my list is Blood, Sweat and Tears. I know, I'm so sorry. Blood, Sweat and Tears deserves the number 1 spot, but just because I like the other 2 songs more than I like Blood, Sweat and Tears, MV is why it is ranked number 3. In the very beginning of the music video, we see that Jin is looking at a painting which signifies Lucifer's fall. Like the fall of Lucifer from heaven, the fallen angel. Then there's another scene where Jungkook is floating in the air, and like we think that why is he floating there? And then we see that there is a painting behind Jungkook, and that painting is of Icarus. Icarus is the dude who fly too close to the sun, and then his wings of wax melted and then he fell down. Basically, it signifies that he was too ambitious and then he fell. And And later in the music video, there is another scene where we see that all of the BTS members are sitting in a dining table. They are eating apples. Apples at first might seem that hey, it's just apples, and then when we relate to first ever scene where there was Lucifer's painting and then Icarus, then we realize that apples are supposed to signify the forbidden fruit in Bible. Like basically when you eat the apple, you get polluted, you get corrupted. And then towards the end of the music video, we see there is a plot twist. We see that V has his wings cut off. It means V was the devil, the Lucifer all along, who was leading all the members to corruption maybe. Number 2 on the list is none other than Black Swan. First of all, everyone quiet. There's one particular scene where we see that Suga is rapping, and behind him we see that there's a shadow which is continuously dancing. Like this scene kind of fascinated me a lot. Then later we get to know that it's Jimin's shadow who was dancing behind. And then there's another scene where we see that V is singing, it's his verse, and then in the music video he looks ethereally beautiful. Like he looks majestic. Another thing that I love a lot about Black Swan music video is there are a lot of scenes of Jimin showcasing his contemporary dancing. As if you are in ARMY, you will know that he has been learning contemporary dancing for about 10 years, for more than a decade now, and this music video brought out his full potential of contemporary dances and poured it all over. And there's another scene which I find very creepy, but then it also is very beautiful. There's this scene where Jin is looking straight into a lot of mirrors, where there's a lot of reflections. At that moment, the lyric of the song says, "You can't devour me." That is a very strong and impactful lyric. And when he says, "You can't devour me," he turns. And when he turns, all his other reflections, they don't. What I feel about Black Swan can be described in 2 words. Very much artistically majestic.
I'm so sick of this fake love, fake love, fake love. I'm so sorry, but it's fake love, fake love, fake love.
Number 1 on my list is none other than the best fake love. If I'm being honest, I'm not even eligible enough to be commenting, to be praising this masterpiece that BTS created. The fake love music video or the song is basically about the members facing their fears, their inner fears, while Jungkook watches them from a distance. There's this one particular scene in the fake love music video which I find very interesting. It's a scene in V's verse. Behind where V is standing, there is a thing that's written, "Save Me." And I find it very interesting because Save Me is the name of another BTS song. And that's a really, really good song, you should listen to it. And if we focus on it a bit more further, we zoom in it, and then if we turn it around and see, it becomes "I Am Fine." And that's even more interesting because "I Am Fine" is again another song of BTS. As I said that the music video was about the members facing their fears. The fears go such as J-Hope has a fear of sneakers, like yeah, that looks very stupid. But then the reason is that related to some childhood of his where his mother leaves him and with a bag of sneakers. And then we see that V's fear is cell phones. We see that V is holding a cell phone and then it turns to dust, and then behind him a lot of cell phones turn on, and yeah, that's basically him facing his fears. And then there's Jin. His fear is basically flowers. Jin is holding that flower tight as we see it in the first scene, and then another scene there is when he leaves it, the flower is gone. Then we can see that Jimin's fear is water, and this is also one of my very favorite scenes where Jimin is standing in between and then water falls from 2 sides, and that's a very beautiful scene. Then there's Suga's fear. Basically, Suga's fear is fire. And there is this scene where we can see that he is creepily smiling to his fear. And while all of this is happening, this is very interesting to me that Jungkook all this while is watching every member. Then if we come to RM Sphere is basically his old self. He's looking into a mirror, looking into a looking glass, and he kind of despises his old self. Basically, the music video ends with Jungkook walking into a room to face his own inner demon. We can see that he walks into this room and there's this person with this hood. It is signifying him facing his own demon.